How powerful am I? I'm gonna wait for a little bit just to see if anybody actually does come in. I did put the tweet out. Let's see. Alright, good. The tweet is out. We'll see if the people see it. If the people do or not. And I might have to explain myself for this one. Like, a lot this time. My case is over there. I already put the game disc in. And if I decide to play something else, we'll see. Because what I've chosen tonight is sort of weird. It's a whim, and it's just me. I just want to kind of relook at it. It's not even like I don't want to replay that. Like, I don't want to replay this. Because even back when this game came out, I did not like it. Well, no. I liked it, but I wasn't, like, enthralled with it. This was actually a gift, I remember. I still have the game case, though. I ain't giving it up. This is not, like, a rare PS2 game, but it is also not, like, a game I see people ever talk about. Like, it does not get talked about. Even in, like, the manospheres. More people come in, I can kind of explain what the hell is going on with this game, because it's something. It's something, all right. I say I go ahead and get started here, though. So welcome back to the Jetstorm4 broadcasting system. I think that's the official name that I've just used forever. That's a great name. Because that's exactly what it is. But let me go ahead and just preface this with that warning again. I've not actually played this game since around the time it came out. As for when that was, I'm trying to think actually when it even came out. I got it around June of a certain time, of that time frame. So I think I got like a month or two after it came out. Maybe it was even less than that. Let me actually check the game case here for this one. You can usually get they're not always 100% right, but we can kind of look. 2006, 2007. Okay, this game is a little... Like, I know this was after Kingdom Hearts 2, I believe. In fact, that makes sense to me. So, I'll go ahead... Let's go ahead and get started here. But like I said, this is kind of a weird one. I've not touched this since I played through it when it came out. And... It's been sort of a... I've been playing through Trials of Mana, the remake of Seiken Densetsu 3. And I'm like, this game's actually really good. And now I'm thinking about the game they dared called Seiken Densetsu 4. Or what was released over here in North America as Dawn of Mana. Is this under their World of Mana banner? Yeah, this is. Okay. I did remember that this was under the World of Mana banner. There were a couple games released at around the same time. Or, like, kind of a little bit apart of each other. One of them was this game.
Long, long ago, when the world was still flat, back before humans knew of magic.
Crap, flat earthers.
In the very center of the ocean,
Kidding.
floated a tiny yet beautiful
but
island. Its name was Illusia.
if I remember right, so the
In
games that
those
did come
days,
out under the
on the
World of
continent
Mana
of
banner
Fatiel,
were this game, like I
5
said,
great countries
Children of
flourished.
Mana,
Jad,
and I believe
Land of Sand.
Heroes of Mana.
Topple, Land of Water. Wendell, Land of Green. Ish, Land of Fire. And Lorimar, Land of Ice.
And
All in Fadiel,
the goal of like
believe
this series,
Isle was
this
holy.
was to
Protected by a guardian beast, no one dared to set foot there.
sort of gather mana in
On
kind of
the
its
island,
own
There
world, its
stood
own
one
setting,
indescribably
kind of make it separate
enormous
from
tree.
the obvious Final
Tree had
Fantasy
been there
influences that
before
the
the
original
world
game
began.
has, and the other
In
games do
fact,
as well.
It was said to be the mother of every
kinda make its
living
own thing.
thing in the world. But in those days, an ancient curse gradually turned the tree to stone. For a long time, it
I'll
remained
let this intro
asleep,
play a little bit.
seeming to some as if it were dead. Now then, I suppose I should tell you the story of how it all began. Of how a certain young man came to possess a sacred sword. And how a certain young maiden became a goddess
June.
of mana.
I had
It's
talked a little bit
winding
about
tale of hope and despair,
revisiting something.
connecting the worlds
I ain't planning
of
on playing through
humans
this,
and of my
but
fellow spirits.
I will play a bit of it. I have not touched this since like around the time it came out and when I played through
Ritzy's
it.
worried.
Oh, you're going to need a leash, Buju.
I'm actually gonna keep going a little bit. So this is a PS2 action RPG. I almost don't even use. It's weird. It's a weird one from what I remember, but it is a mana game. Oh, did it not work? Oh, that's too bad. I saw you wanted to do the. I saw you wanted to do the Deep Labyrinth, right? Game you talked about before. So I forget actually what sort of everything this game has. Let me just double check here. Should work. Also, hey Zim! Hey, last Zim on Earth. I don't know if you've ever been to my streams at all. I know we follow each other, of course, on Twitter. I don't know if you've been here or not before, but hey. Here we play random games, and you all suffer with me sometimes over 40-minute boss battles. I'll give this title screen a little bit of more time here. This was a 2000. Okay, it says 2007. I was trying to remember what year this game actually did come out, and that sounds about right to me now. Because the PS2 had games for like years, and this is even before Persona 4 came out in North America. So, oh, there's an easy mode. That's alright. So I will play through cutscenes, I suppose, and y'all can enjoy the weird way that they tried to make mana into kind of its own thing as a series around this time.
What do you mean when the world was still flat? You can't make up stuff like that just to spice up a story. What if all the little kids out there take it as fact?
Watch that mouth! You're hardly as scholly yourself, Hot Pants, you know. Half-grown spirits like you should listen more and talk less.
Oh man,
Not all of us are as old as
Salamander
dirt,
here
you
is
know.
speaking
and
through though.
I'm not the one telling fairy tales, acting like I was there the
You
whole
two
time.
fools are at it again. Let's save your little grudge match for later.
Yes, the 8 of us are here for a reason, and it isn't fisticuffs. We need to go over certain events and make sure we've got them right.
Correct you are. Tonight is a super exclusive spirit conference
We must discuss the link between our spirits and humanity.
Actually, I don't remember the scene at all.
The origin of the mana tree.
It's really funny because like all these spirits have like very different personalities and trials of mana.
Fighting won't solve anything, no.
Ah, you're right. Sorry. I ought to stay grounded and not lose my head.
Actually,
The
Gnome's
night
about
is
right.
brief, and I've got more sinister things to do.
Listen up, my fiery friend. You can extinguish that temper, because you know we have a lot to do.
Mana's weird.
Okay.
They're all
okay.
kind of weird
Go
games.
ahead. Go on with your story.
On the sacred island of Aruja stood a small and solitary village. There dwelt what were known as the Tree Folk. They lived in peace, blessed by the beauty and bounty of nature. Little did they know, their peaceful days would soon come to an abrupt end.
Spooky. This is a Koichi Ishii thing. Oh, by the way, this is a Kenji Ito soundtrack, so it's gonna be really, really good. Just, I still do listen to this soundtrack from time to time. Like, oh yeah. So, yo, original story, Masato Kato. If I remember right, that makes a lot more sense now that I think of it.
Kelby, can you bring him back?
Okay.
Don't be too rough with him, though.
You got it.
Am I playing here? No. We're good. Sure we are playing. Okay. I forgot about the prologue. This has been a bit, but I do remember several things. It's square, okay. Yeah, that's right. And the goal is to panic, and then the... Yes, that's right. Each medal here to increase your stats for what chapter you're currently in. And the rabbi's good. Just...
Hey, wait!
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of weird though. Is that this actually uses the right analog stick camera. You'd be surprised how rare that is on the PS2. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 finally used it, but Kingdom Hearts 1 did not. Originally, the right analog stick in Kingdom Hearts 1 was for menu selection. Just gotta beat up on this mushroom. Shoot. Okay, so yeah, objects have their own target. That's weird. Like I said, I don't quite remember some stuff.
Aw, come on. Get back here, will you?
Huh. They're dice. Huh. That's odd. Look how that exploded. I'm gonna play around with this for a while. If the camera gets weird, it's a PS2 game from 2007. It's gonna get weird. I didn't see that up there.
Nothing helps like chocolate.
Also, the healing items in mana are candy and chocolate, which, you know, that's just how it works. That's just what it is. Holy crap, double jump. Okay. I'm remembering this game a little more. We haven't even gotten to the whip mechanics yet.
Hey, don't you ignore me!
So, there's a lot of physics in this game. It's a mana game with voice acting, and you probably shouldn't feel good about it. Even Trials of Mana is like the recent one, which is the reason I'm playing this actually. So I was like, huh, let's play this. It's okay. The Trials dub is, it's something. Heck, I read faster than the actual game's performance anyway, so it's
Hey, wait!
Get back here. Oh, the remastered Grandia dub. The remastered Grandia, it's dubbed. Yeah, Grandia's dub is a thing I did, but for that remaster when I played through it, I went ahead and switched the voice acting in Japanese. So I wanted to do that. This guy is just running. I'd like to catch him. Grandia 2, Grandia 1's dub is, it's got its moment. It has its moments. It's overall not good, but it's fine. It's from 1998, so I forgive it. Now, Grandia 2, I actually think Grandia 2's dub is really good. Both for just at the time, and I think just it has some absolute, some of my favorite moments. Cam Clark is in that dub, and I'll forgive anything with Cam Clark in it.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, the rest of the cast is fine. I forget who voices Melphis, but I'm like, absolutely good. I'm here for more. I'm here for Liquid Snake and Solid Snake going at each other. That bridge just fell. I mean, they're iffy, but the most of the cast is kind of doing double duty for like most of the characters. So you can tell you can have fun with pointing out who voices who, the same characters. Like even if like Roan is kind of maybe a little iffy for me, I think he still sounds fine. Oh shoot. Prologue's going for quite a while, actually. Panicking, he's gonna drop the stats. Yeah. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good stuff in that cast. It's not the. It's shared. The direction's not quite, say, Metal Gear, but it's still very, I think, very solid. Like, probably the biggest surprise I think most people don't realize is that Ubisoft published Grandia 2 in North America.
Okay, that's enough for now. Let's get you back to Ritzia.
I'm pretty sure, just from what I've researched, that they are the ones, like, responsible for that dub. Back when Ubisoft used to publish JRPGs, because that's what they did. They published Drakengard 2 in North America.
Whoa there!
For Square Enix.
That's better.
They published
Oh, you're going to need a leash, Buju.
you can't put a leash on a rabbit.
Are we at?
Oh shoot. Is that who Sky is in Grandia 4 in Grandia 2? Grandia 4, I say.
That's right.
That's Xenoblade 2.
Do you remember, Keldy? When we were little, you carved our initials here with your pocket knife.
No. Did I?
But we shouldn't hurt trees like that, you know. Because whenever we hurt any living thing, we also end up hurting ourselves.
Yeah, I know that.
You're gonna twist my arm to play Grandia on stream, aren't you? You don't have to do it too hard.
Where are they going?
When the two of them rushed back to the sanctuary, they found the village full of golem soldiers from the Lorimarian army.
And Stroud, the king of Lorimar himself, came riding in. He captured all of the tree folk and then herded them in to a few houses.
Keldric and Ritzia went to awaken the sacred beast that guarded Elucia and now slumbered beneath the great tree. But the golem soldiers were one step ahead of them. They seemed to be looking for something there.
The pair sneaked past the soldiers and entered the depths of the great tree, hoping to find the sacred beast before the Lorimarians did.
Yeah, Ubisoft did more than just that, though. They published Lunar Legend for the Game Boy Advance and Lunar Dragon Song for the DS as well. Lost Magic for the DS, I believe, was Ubisoft. I think there's a few other ones as well that I'm missing. And Evolution was Evolution 1, 2, and also the GameCube version of Evolution was Ubisoft published. So I guess I should explain the format of this game a little bit. This is not structured like a typical RPG is. This is structured with a sort of a level by level. Each chapter is its own self-contained level, and even your experience and stats are tied to the chapter itself. If I remember right, your if you do things there too. This game is a very it's a little different than a typical thing. Oh, by the way, this song is like top tier. Yeah, this is a linear
the sacred beast
this is a pretty linear
should be
game.
just past here. Word has it that the feather you wear came from the guardian beast itself. Maybe it could give us a clue.
You ought to know. You're the one who gave it to me when we were kids.
Just looking.
These slabs look like they could collapse at any minute.
Yeah, this is a pretty linear game. It's more of an action game than an RPG itself. So I mean, which is not really I don't think it's a problem nowadays.
Yeah.
Kelty, what do you think they're looking for?
Yeah, oh yeah, this dub is
Probably the
way
same
better than
thing
Trials
we
of
are,
Mana, I
the
think.
beast that protects the island. But to the invaders from the Lorimarian army, it's just another obstacle.
They must be planning to kill it then.
Oh, that's absolutely fine. This is its own. This is also its own sort of brand of RPG, or its own sort of brand of localization from like around this time. It's
I think
a
we
little
might be
different.
able to startle them if we drop something down on them.
If I remember right, let's see. I am not 100% sure. I've actually not even looked at his vocal cast yet. Or to kind of even see, but I know Square Enix typically has a, depending on their production, they will skip Union. Like, I don't know if anybody's played Star Ocean 1. That one definitely skips Union, because there are plenty of voice actors in the credits of that are using aliases in that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a unique name, and I forget who that is. That's somebody who's working outside of the union they typically work with, and I'm not sure. Is that Bryce Papenbrook? Yeah. So yeah, with this, in this game in particular, is kind of a weird. This is a very weird game. Just overall, I think you pretty much tell that right away. Looking at it as a mana game, it's kind of strange, and I had never paid attention to the credits. The story of this game is by Masato Kato, and I'm like, oh no, wait a minute, I might have to replay this now because Kato is the person.
Oh, I know.
Is who basically wrote Chrono Cross. Each I'm not actually, I can't quite remember. I know there's 8 chapters. As to how long each one of those chapters are, it depends. I remember some of the chapters going on for a pretty long time. So I'm not 100% sure of the length. But like, I will say this right now, this game has better platforming controls than Kingdom Hearts. Now that I'm kind of replaying it again. Had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Yep. Kato's interesting. His stuff may not be, his stuff from there may not be the best, but it's good. The main thing we haven't even done yet in this game, though, we haven't even gotten to the main gimmick of this game yet. The main other physics gimmick that we can't do yet.
It's easy to get lost in here.
Not really, Keldy. You're good.
We don't get to choose where the beast lives, huh, Keldy?
Oh, see, she's jumping too. She's platforming too. Isn't that great? Actually, if we can do this. Actually, our main mechanic is the whip. We haven't earned the whip yet. We'll get that in this area. Oh yeah, getting their affinity to a high enough for that quest. I know which one you're doing. Yeah, I definitely streamed Xenoblade here once, a couple times before, and I definitely streamed the later parts of the game just with that party member in the party, with a little spoiler tag indication. I think most people know at this point who that 7th party member is in the game, but I do have a friend playing it for the first time, and he's actually liking it a lot more than I think he thought he would. He says he's still having a good time with it. Whether he continues it or not, we'll see. He's actually playing the original Wii release using Dolphin. We all played Smash 4. I forget that he's I forget that they just kind of play that out in Smash 4. That's right. at our objects have. The one kind of weird gameplay thing here is that objects have their own target button.
Thank you.
Lekius won't be happy that I brought a tree maiden to a place like this.
You really have no idea why he gets angry with you, do you?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, what's that? That's a mid-chapter save point. I do have a save file around here somewhere, but I just put one, I just put my own... Wait, did I just save? No, I forget. Let's do it again anyway. There we go.
Since time immemorial, the great tree has stood here with the 8 spirits, keeping watch over the world. But since then, the tree has turned to stone. If only it could flourish again. Then, just maybe, we could live together with the elemental spirits once more.
Maybe.
I gotta be honest about some of the skill branches. I just discovered those like a couple days ago.
Hey, look!
And I've played
What's this?
Xenoblade multiple times. So I'm actually not sure.
Ow!
Keldy!
What do you think this... Ah!
Oh no, Keldy! Throw it away!
Ah!
I did. That is how I found out.
Keldy!
What happened to me? My arm.
Are you alright, Keldy?
I think I'm okay.
I'm not sure about that. Maybe we should go see the village elder.
Let me double check something.
He might know what all this is about.
Good idea. Okay, let's go, Ritzia.
I was just double checking if there was a VA list in this manual. There is not. Actually, there's a... The entire credits is in this manual, but I do not see the voice actors. She sounds like Laura Bailey. I think that's who that is. So, we have this now. I don't know how ready you're all for this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is just from me hearing her voice. I've...
Sanctuary has been defied.
Wait a minute. You are the tree's chosen one. You must determine for yourself.
The great tree awakens.
I'm trying to nail down who Keldrick is. I can't quite pin that down myself.
Wow! I didn't know you could do that.
But now that we do have the main weapon now, we can do more things now with.
The bond you have with us.
Those voices.
Yeah, like I said about the length of this game, I don't quite remember how long hour-wise this game is, but I know it's about 8 chapters. And there's, each one can be kind of lengthy.
Ritzia!
Once you touch the save point, it actually just goes straight to the menu, so... That's probably just why.
What is it? Ritzia! Ah! What do you think it is? Say, you're pretty up close and personal.
Keldy, could it? Maybe it's a spirit.
Seems sorta...
But why? Say, Keldy. Huh? Keldy? Yes. Well, it looks like she's a quick learner anyway. My name is Ritzia. And you are? Keldy. Ritzia. And I am...
Yeah, it's for the term
Faye?
used in there.
Are you Faye? That's your name?
It's okay. I'll do it for now, but I might. We'll see what I allow later.
Okay. We get the point.
I actually,
Oh.
I have like several thoughts and like memories
so
of this
much.
game now, like flooding as I'm playing this. This is actually
Ritzia,
kind
you
of
better get
interesting to
going.
come back to a little bit.
Right. Lead the way.
Because I would have been about 14 or 15, maybe 15 when this game came out.
Let's get moving.
Maybe even later, I don't know.
Keldy, wait a minute.
Oh.
Are you alright, Ritzia?
I'll take this path and you take the other. We'll meet up at the Guardian Beast Den. See you there, Keldy.
Roger. I hope Ritzia's okay.
I forgot about the magic system. Oh, I forgot about that. December 21st, 2006. Is that its Japanese release date?
Blowing in on the wind.
Oh shoot, it's Jin.
How do you do, friend? You're a spirit just like the rest of us, are you not? That is why we are going to help you. Give this to that little fellow over there. My mighty breeze creates a whirlwind, which sends all sorts of things flying. That goes for enemies, too.
Are those seeds? May 24th, 2007 sounds right to me. Okay. Okay, so so Europe never got this. That doesn't surprise me too much. Europe never got this. Oh. By gathering attack medals. At level 2, your sword combos can be up to 4 strikes. And you can shoot the 4 pellets in a row. Let's see, let me think about yours real quick. I turned 16 when this came out. It was right before, because if it was, yeah, if it was May,
In need of my
it
services,
was right
are
before
you?
my birthday then.
The power of Earth can bring things together. My magnetic charge will draw enemies and objects around it.
Ah, that's right, we do share a birthday. We do share our birthday of June 8th. Along with Julian, right?
Don't mind if I do.
Ooh, it goes in circles.
What goes in circles? I'll find out.
Be careful, don't fall. There are monsters below us. I wonder what would happen if we dropped something on them from up here.
Yeah, like that.
Toby, your hair color's different from Ritzia's.
I came to this island from far, far away when I was only a baby.
How far?
That's right, yep, we do have that. Let's see if we can push. Yeah, I'm starting to remember. I'm starting to remember several things right now. I think I remember why I don't like Kingdom Hearts 2 that much. But it might have been this game. I don't know. This game came out after Kingdom Hearts 2, so I don't know. I said I was not going to replay this myself, but that was before I started playing it again. When you get the Master Sword, I don't know, but typically it's after 3 dungeons, and
Not here.
She might be further in.
it might be after 3 dungeons, and then you have to do thing, and then you go back in time, and then you go forward in time. That's right. Actually, I'm pretty sure time travels in this game somewhere, but I can't remember. L1 puts the camera behind you.
Honey brew.
You hit that room, huh?
Maybe there's some place to climb up.
You're experiencing the weird physics of Xenoblade sliding. And then you have to make that jump. That's a fun jump. Concentrating on. Is there a way to check my current stats? Now that I think about it. Go. Oh, this is a spinny slab room.
Caldy, which faraway place are you from?
Oh, I don't know. And I don't care, because I'm one of the tree folk now.
Oh, the key change for the song of the actual music track. Yeah, it's real good. This it's also the tempo and key change here, and just the yeah. This is a This is a Keiji Ito soundtrack, so it's a good one too. Like, this is actually still a soundtrack I even listen to from time to time. Just looking to see what that enemy dropped. Oh, it's up there, I see it. Maybe not.
There goes my diet.
My only thing is, I know if I do like a full replay of this, I don't know if my opinion of this game will change if I even do that. So I do remember some later parts of this game getting more frustrating than not. So, but then again, I don't know. I might be more. My tastes do change. I know for everything. There's games I used to not like that I do. Though I will admit, 3D platforming is still interesting coming back to. Plus we're on these rotating discs, and that's always... Oh, hey, June. Oh no, there's no need to be sorry. This game does have platforming. Oh, it's got platforming. Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm probably better at this, and I'm better at most things. Oh, wow. Hold on. Wow, hey, you are right there. It's a good level up. That's good experience. The only other Mana game that is like a 3D game is the Trials of Mana remake. And even that game does... It's mostly just kind of there to be there a little bit. There's no like actual... There's no actual platforming really in that game, aside from jumping across, you know, to find a treasure chest in certain areas. Like, that game is mostly a combat. That game is mostly combat. Along with hilariously bad voice acting. Like, I am agreeing with the sentiment that this game does have a better dub than Trials of Mana. And where I actually need to go is over there, but I am failing at platforming. But yeah, the Japanese version of this game is actually called Seiken Densetsu 4.
Keldy! Good, you made it. And Faye, you did too.
You're not looking any worse for the wear. Okay, let's go.
Like, this is not even considered a spin-off. This is considered a main... This is actually considered like a main game. Yeah, I'm already kind of replaying this. It's actually quite good. Just what I'm remembering now, it's over Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana is still, like, I think the 3D remake is, of the Mana remakes so far, of the 3 Mana remakes, Adventures of Mana, the Secret of Mana remake, and then Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana is the most interesting of them. It's still good. Like, even though that original one does still hold up pretty well, it holds up in its own way. I think there are some problems with it. That Trials of Mana 3D remake kind of fixes, just with how it's processing its own battle system. But it does have its own issues as well. Like, AI is not quite up to task for some things. As I'm currently going through fighting the Benevodons, hunting those down right now. That's its own thing there, but I mean, it's probably better than I think even the original games on that. I replayed Secret of Mana last year, and I used to not like Secret of Mana as much, but I did a complete 180 on my opinion on Secret of Mana from that replay. Mostly I was curious. I actually played it on the Mana Collection. And just like, I'll go ahead and give it a go. I hadn't replayed it in years, so it was I had a much warmer experience with it than I thought I would.
Looks like a dead end. If there's a sacred beast here, he's doing a good job of hiding.
This place scares me, Kelby. That's because it's a tomb. A graveyard.
Now what I really want is a Secret of Evermore.
It's filled with the sorrows of the dead from long ago.
Re-release of some kind. More people gotta play Evermore. Evermore's really good.
Hey! Sacred Beast! Where are you? Come out wherever you are!
Keldy!
Captain Soul.
Who's that? Is someone there?
Is that the Guardian?
Yo!
Oh,
I know who you are.
Progeny of the Black Oracle.
Get back, Ritzia, now! Get your claws off her!
Now loading.
It doesn't have any feathers. It can't be the Guardian Beast, can it?
Keldy, watch out behind you!
speaking of Trials of Mana, you'll probably, if you play Trials of Mana, or like, you know, any version of that, you'll recognize this as the first boss of that game. He's much different here. That was... Okay. I got stuff dropping in. So far, though, is like the Trials of Mana. That's a really comfy game to play. Yeah, they reuse. There are reuse stuff. You know, just reuse stuff from other Mana games. One thing kind of weird, though, is that the camera does not follow the boss, normally, which is a thing that most platformers do. So I'm actually moving the camera at the same time, or I could actually lock onto him if I want to. I guess I may prefer that, though. Also, this MIDI-ass, like, song is really, really good. It's like, this is straight up Kenji, Kenji Ito. Just straight up. I love it. It's very saga-sounding, which is what Kenji Ito is, actually more known for. Even though he did do the original, Mana Games soundtrack. Reconcile with myself on this one. This might actually be stronger than I thought it would. This is actually like much stronger than I thought it would be. At least this first chapter. You're supposed to actually stun him with one of these seeds or your own elemental bullets, but we'll let him do this. A nice big arena, though. Nice, I appreciate that. We're almost done here. I think I remember the story reasons for why that thing attacked now. Oh shoot, got A, B, 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 S, and B. Oh shoot. I got an A rank.
You must not hear the echoes of the everlasting dread.
Are you alright, Kelby?
Yeah. How about you? Are you okay?
Yes. All thanks to you.
But why did he attack you like that? First my arm and now that thing? And we still can't find the sacred beast. What are we doing wrong?
Forbidden prayers? A sealed paradise. What's it all about? Illusia is supposed to be a holy place, guarded by a sacred beast.
Huh? Ritzia? Hey!
No, don't! Oh, don't! Please don't!
What's wrong?
I've been waiting for you, maiden. Finally, the day has come when promises of old shall be fulfilled.
Ritzia! Oh no! Ritzia! Hey, can you move? Ritzia! Come on, wake up! Wake up, will you? What do you want?
Lots of things are going on. Well, I've been streaming for an hour and 20. Huh, I might go on for a little bit longer.
When Ritzia touched the root of the great tree, it enveloped them in light. All of the tree folk trembled in fear at the awesome sight, but Stroud merely snickered. After commanding his soldiers to take Ritzia away, Stroud ordered a group brought to the base of the tree. Among them were the village elder Keldric and Lekius, a village guard and longtime friend of Keldric.
Alright, Onyx, good seeing you around. If I do ever stream Legend of Mana, which
Sire,
honestly could
I
happen
brought the
someday,
village elder and the head guard.
I will. I'll let you know.
Another miscreant of sorts.
Capital. Elder, if I may ask you,
I remember this guy being a cool
how
boss.
does one open the sealed door to Mavolia?
A door? To Mavolia?
Where have you been? This very island is the door to Mavolia. 1,000 years ago, this place was cursed and sealed away.
How could it ever be cursed? Illusia is a holy place, a sanctuary.
What exactly is it you want?
Power. To make the power of Mavolia my own.
Nonsense. If you were to do that, the world would be consumed by Thanatos, plunging it into everlasting darkness.
What of it? Do you think I really care what becomes of the world?
He does have a cool dress.
If you plan to remain silent on the matter, perhaps Ritzia will prove helpful. But how much torment can she endure before she finally talks? That's some trick up your sleeve. So you'd prefer that I execute all of you? Let's begin with the Tree Maiden.
It's in Wonderwood. The key to that unholy realm lies deep within the forest.
You're easily swayed. Take them away.
Yes, sire.
That brat with the weed on his arm isn't one of the tree folk.
Correct. And he has that sword. The great tree must have splintered off and planted itself in his arm.
Well, this is the entrance to Mavolia, after all. But there's something odd about him.
How so, Your Majesty?
Never mind. Opening the door is my first order of business.
I remember him being a very annoying boss.
Listen up, troops. We're here to search Wonderwood. There's something deep inside the forest that'll help revive the great tree. It is essential that we achieve this critical objective. And to help us with our task today, we have this Tree Maiden. She'll be serving as our guide. As proud golems, we must strive for the sake of King Stroud and the entire kingdom of Lorimar. Failure is not an option. Make this mission a success, or else. Now, the world is brimming with the power of the spirits.
So the army's got Ritzia. It's a good thing we got out of the village. I'll get her back. Hold on. There are too many to take on at once. We'll wait for them to split up. Once they're in the forest, and then we'll get our chance.
Lek, I can take care of Ritzia. You go back to the village.
Huh?
They need all the help they can get now. I'll bring Ritzia back safe.
You're right. We're counting on you.
Yeah, that was 2 in a row.
Company, forward march!
Right. Then we're off.
What was that?
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch. I know, like, a multiple bots showed up on Polly's Game of the Year stream. Just, like, the same thing. It was like two or three in a row. And I was like, oh man, they're out in full force. It's probably the U.S. Army. They got. Yeah, it was like it was a lot more in a row than that. It's like it's probably the U.S. Army.
Who is that just
They were
He's a village guard.
chained off of Twitch, and now they're gonna use their bots. Oh no, I'm kidding. I am joking about that. I hope I am. So, like I said before, just kind of explain some gameplay stuff. You'll notice our magic and our attack level is now level 1 again.
So goblins are on the prowl.
Because all that stuff is actually based on a chapter by chapter basis.
They're probably just a band of thieves.
I think that was something I didn't like when I played this game in the beginning. I think that's something that really did, like, leave a sour mood when I was, younger, because you know how it is. But I think nowadays I'm a little more open to something like that. And like, we don't actually have our ammunition from the previous chapter either. We'll have to go find it. Oh, they flank. Get back here. Hey, it turns out this song was good too. Uh-oh. Like I said, this is Kenji Eno. Kenji Eno, no, Kenji Ito. Wrong Kenji. It's Salamander.
Burn in for some firepower? Just bump into burnable bits and I'll flash fry 'em flat. Giving enemies that burning sensation is sure to wear down their strength.
Yeah, it's all Saga sounding, which, June, I'm not... how familiar are you with Saga as a series? It's one of Square's other RPG series. I'm not sure how familiar you are with, say, that one. Because that's one that John and I both like a lot. Because Kenji Ito does that series soundtrack mostly, with a few exceptions. The Final Fantasy 13 composer does a few of them too. Okay, no Romancing Saga. Okay. That's fair, okay. That's about it, okay. Yeah. The main one I actually know that series is the first Game Boy one, and also the first PS1 game, Saga Frontier. Saga Frontier is like one of my favorite. Like, I love that game. That game is really, really cool.
There goes my diet.
I would say this might be kind of a stretch to say, but it's probably my favorite cyberpunk RPG. And I'll use that term, that's the correct, I think, way to use that term in Saga Frontier's case, because that world is strictly about a overreaching capitalist, overreaching company, corporation, using capitalism to kind of destroy kind of a lot of the world. But the game's also not really about that either. It's just kind of a set piece for it. The Trinity Corporation in that game, oh man, some stuff. One of the stories does go into a little bit of it, but actually not as much as it probably should. That game was kind of rushed out the door, from what I understand. There's a lot of unused content that was kind of just left off the, like, just left out. And I know this kind of, like, for this game right here, at least, this looks like a wide area, like, wide open world area. It's not. It's a very, it is still kind of a linear track. We'll never come back here. At least in the same state. I'm gonna hit myself. Yeah, well, anyway, the Saga Frontier is really good. It's got some stuff. It's definitely a Saga game. I just kind of remembered it. I've been playing Trials of Mana just on my own, and having actually like a really warm, good time with it. And I was just thinking, you know, there is one other 3D Mana game that I haven't revisited. I've never revisited it at all, and I was like, I wonder like how much that does not hold up. Is what I was saying to myself. I even like back when it came out, like I said, I don't remember liking this game as much. Like I still played it, enjoyed, you know, like did what I could from it, but I don't know, it's just kind of a weird. But I always kind of had that sort of, you know, just kind of keep as it is, you know, just kind of, I don't have to revisit it. I was just kind of thinking about it. It was like. Because Trials of Mana is definitely not like this game at all. It is a full remake of Seiken Densetsu 3. Although it does have a few differences. It's not like a straight one-to-one remake. Story-wise, it is though. And it does have a PS2 look. This is actually a late PS2 game though. This is 2006, 2007. So it was already like early PS2. I can show you some early PS2 stuff. That's like way earlier looking than this. This actually looks really good for like a PS2 game. It's not running much. Yeah, I think this looks really good compared to like the early, like some of the early PS2 stuff, like some of the FromSoft stuff that I'm thinking of right now, like Evergrace, which I don't have a copy of. Eternal Ring is one that I do have a copy of though. Oh, it's absolutely fine. The PS2 is like, the thing is, the PS2 is not just, like, even a, like, there's, like, for the PS2, like, there's some nostalgia for it, for sure, but, like, that library is, like, really good. Like, I cannot deny the PS2's library is really good, even if there's, I think some stuff that doesn't hold up more than others. I think there's still a good amount of stuff that does, for sure. And, like, even some of the stuff that doesn't hold up, I think is still fun. And there's even stuff that there's still games I'm discovering on the system that I've never heard of. So, like, I have a copy of Spy Fiction right now, a game I'd never heard of, but looked kind of neat. So, unfortunately, it was cheap. So it's like, okay, I will grab that for a later time.
A little pick-me-up.
There are a few interesting ones for sure. Though I will say, like, whenever there was like a multi-release for like the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, I'd always pick up like the GameCube version of it, because typically the GameCube version was actually better. Or like even the Xbox version. Just it depends on the game though. Like any of Sega's releases, I would prefer the GameCube version of those if they had a version. Or even the Xbox version. My brother actually bought the PS2 himself, like when he was very young. He actually saved money and bought it for himself. He bought it though mostly for a DVD, as a DVD player. Fortunate for me, at least. I actually bought the GameCube. And my dad actually bought an Xbox for some reason. Actually, no, I lied. No, we bought him an Xbox. He had to stay behind. My family was military. My dad was military. He had to stay behind, so we actually bought him an Xbox as like a DVD player. And also, then he became a Halo nut for like a second. Like a hot second, he did that. That was actually like a little later though. Like that was when the Xbox was like much cheaper. It was before the 360 came out, and it was like kind of into that console's lifespan. We probably used, believe me, we probably found some coupons for that. We did. Believe it or not, the PS2 my brother bought, I'm actually using that PS2 right now. And it was a very early PS2. This is a very early PS2 console that I'm using. It runs like a champ. Even though I do have I do actually have a second PS2 I found at a garage sale for $5. But you know, that's how it is. You'll unfortunately learn with me, June, that I did get I do have a lot of consoles, and I have saved those consoles, and I keep them running. Which is why I'm happy to stream now, because I can now share stuff. Isn't that great? And now you can either suffer, you can suffer with me. I can stream now. That's a good thing. Yep, that's a good thing. I'm very into preserving actual console just keeping actual console hardware running. The only thing I'm adapting to right now is basically living with the fact that we're gonna have to deal with new input methods for things, specifically with video input. And not having a single console is probably liberating in its own right. At least with having just like a PC available. And you know, I know you're probably using emulation for a lot of things, so hey, you know what? That's still fine by me. Not have even having like emulation options available, I think is a good thing, because like I'll say, not everything is gonna last. We're already seeing disc rot hurt a lot of early CD consoles, or a lot of CD games in particular. That's kind of the main worry with Sega CD and PC Engine, because a lot of those CDs were not burnt with were burnt with early methods. Yeah, like I said, I have no I have no problem with emulation. Some people do. I don't see a problem with it personally. For a lot of reasons. First off, for a lot of games, a lot of games are not available without emulation. Like, take this game for example. The only way you're going to get this game now is either buying it from a used game store for like, I don't know how much this game goes for. I think like it's like a $15 game, or at least in North America, or emulating it. And it does leave stuff dead. It does leave stuff dead. And that's why we have other ways to do. You know, we do have other ways to do things. Like when I do Super Nintendo games, I stream. I don't actually stream from a Super Nintendo. I stream from the analog Super NT for that system. Even though I do have the Super Nintendo, I do still have a working Super Nintendo. It's okay. My computer, I don't think can handle a lot of like a lot of PS2 games either. It can handle some PS2 emulation. I've tried, but I can never get it looking right to like how I want to do it. I heard Dolphin is actually a really good emulator though. John's using Dolphin to play Xenoblade, and it does look good. It does look pretty good actually from what he's doing with that.
Please, if you please.
Hey, it's Undine.
So, you need some cold comfort? When my paw touches something, it gets so cold. Enemies won't go near it. But wait, there's more. Ice an enemy with my paw, and she's a snowman.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of CPU usage required, which will how your computer's gonna handle that is gonna be its own sort of thing. That's the thing with emulation. Is that you're still using the software, you know, you're still using the hardware and the software behind it. I know we give Nintendo a lot of flack for their, like, you know, for what they do with emulation, like on the outside. Their internal emulation, I think, is some of the best. Their current emulation, actually. Like, I don't think the Wii NES is very good, but the like the current NES emulator that Nintendo uses internally is really good. There's at least one thing, and the SNES one is like really good too. The SNES one is doing some cool stuff with some of the transparency effects of some games. The analog actually does, and the analog NT does a few of those things too, with how it displays for higher resolutions. I think it's cool. Some of those decisions are different for, you know, different emulators. I remember discussing with some people like ZSNES 9 versus SNES 9X. I like SNES 9X better than ZSNES. Just because that is actually a closer emulator to the SNES. And that's just kind of a weird thing that just kind of a weird one that I have. I'm having more fun with this than I thought I would. the one system I'm curious about with there are a couple ones that I'm kind of curious about where emulation might go with them. Wii U is one I'm actually very curious about if some of that ever happens. Just how that, you know, just what solutions will they have with the gamepad, if any.
Looks like some of them have teamed up.
Having friends around always helps.
The gamepad is going to be a pain to emulate, I think, for a lot of things. Not everything uses the gamepad as much, but there are many things that do. I know a lot of, there's a lot of Wii U stuff that has come out at least, and I think that's going to be what's going to be, you know, I think for a lot of people, that's all they're going to be looking for, you know, what exactly to play. You know, you got like your Bayonetta 2, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, has a Switch version, Donkey Kong has a Switch version. So I wonder... Yeah, we're in the middle of that. Where I tell you. I do wonder for some other things like the stuff that is only on Wii U, like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Which is a Canvas Curse sequel that is actually not like as good at all. I don't think Rainbow Curse is very good, but I wonder something how that one's gonna be. Or like the main one I can think of is Star Fox Zero, which I know people don't like. I do. But that's because I'm a pain in the neck. You think so? Like the from the Wii onwards? I think Wii will probably be easier than most. Most because the Wii control, the Wii remote. The Wii remote is actually is a controller that works well with like PCs. I think it always has. So like, that will be probably easy enough. Wii U is going to be kind of the weird one though. But I don't know if they'll stop too many people because there's Virtual Boy emulation. Like that system actually has quite an interesting. That system's actually quite interesting, preservation-wise, because they have actually done that. There is even homebrew Virtual Boy for a lot of things. There's a Street Fighter port that is a homebrew. But not only that, there's a horror game on Virtual Boy that has its own like modding community that makes its own custom levels for that game. It's the name slips me right now. I know it's I'm trying to think of the actual how to say the name. It's Yamat. It translates to the Mansion of Instance now. But that game has its own like modding community, like, straight up. They make their own levels, and it's kind of awesome. So like, even though like the Virtual Boy is a weird failure of a system, even more so than the Wii U, it still has its own I think it's very interesting. I think it's a very interesting system actually. I could never collect for it because, you know, well, there's a lot of... There are only 24 games on the Virtual Boy, but there are some expensive ones now on the aftermarket. And like the Atlas game on there, Jack Brothers is not even one of them. It's not even like the most expensive. There's a puzzle game on the system that is like just really expensive. It's also really bad. I've actually not played Jack Brothers. I played them, but I got one working on my laptop before it died. But I was playing Wario Land GB because that actually looks like the most interesting game on the system. That looks like a really good game, and I love the look of it. I should probably give Jack Brothers a try now. I have a controller now that has 2 D-pads, so which is like a perfect Virtual Boy emulation controller, marketed as like a Switch controller. Like Wario Land BB actually looks like amazing. Looks amazing. If I could make a video game that looked like that, I'd be good. I can make a controller that looks like that. Just kind of see where we're going. I know we're going that way. I'm just looking to see where we're going with it. There we go. Yeah, I made Moon with a limited palette. I used only 4 colors with that game, and that was really fun. Kind of have a good look with. I want to do a similar thing with like a Moon follow-up, but I don't know how much I want to do with that. That's sort of its own roadblock a little bit. I don't know 100% what I want to go with that yet. I'm almost thinking about ditching the idea of a limited color palette and just kind of going with whatever I want for like each specific each specific thing I need. Maybe each thing having its own limited color palette. If that makes any sense. So I know you played most of my. I think you played most of my games. Moon is kind of my attempt at doing like a grayscale palette. Good. Moon's good. One of the ideas I have floating around in my head is I have worked on a little bit of it already, is a sequel to that. I think I've got the idea for like what the game would be, concept for it, but not quite the look. I'm not quite sure on the look yet.
Gosh, Howdy! How come you wear a feather on your head like that?
Yeah, I wear this instead of my deaf flora.
What's a deaf flora?
Well, that's what the tree folk call their guardian plant charms.
Ritzia has one?
Yeah, of course. Ritzia's charm is a white flower.
Good. Oh, do they have different? You know what? I don't even notice that. Undertale 0. Oh. Game of the year. I know you are. It's neat seeing like it's neat seeing like a PS2 game do stuff like that from like Squaresoft, like Square Enix. Excuse me. I'll still use Squaresoft. I still use Squaresoft. Granted, Meta was a Square series before the split, before the merge, so you know. Okay, I'll call Dragon Quest still Enix, so that's kind of my... There you go. They're panicking enemies, and they're not panicking... Oh, there's a panicking one. It was a thing. That was a good stream. Kind of everything sort of kind of falling through that thing. Good. Everything falling into place is all good. The 9 joke was definitely one that Polly had used before on another stream. One of the Game of the Year streams. So, everybody not buying that at all was great, because we all knew. It was still funny, though. It was even more funny that the chat was not having it. That just made it the more funny. John did the same thing with last year's Game of the Year stream with Shovel Knight, which made the Shovel Knight placement really funny this time. So there was some fun. There was some funny in all of that. So good. And a lot of like the Game of the Year, Game of the Decade stuff is kind of in jest for some of it. It's not super, it's still not super serious. So there's a lot of fun with it more than like it's not like a super serious thing. That's kind of just why I think it works for them. It works so well because there's a lot of like just not taking it too seriously. It's just kind of a lot. And yeah, it's absolutely fine. You've only been around some of us for a while. Hope we're not too bad. If we all seem dumb, it's because we are. Well, first off, we are. I am. We like dumb jokes. And just good humor. So we can get the stats up. That's good, at least. There's a lot of dumb. There's a lot of serious, but you know, still a lot of dumb too. So that's kind of the like. There's definitely a limit to what jokes, like kind of what jokes we do find. Like, I think it's for anybody though. You know what is acceptable, what's not, and even so, different humor kind of comes out throughout. So you know, it is what it is there. So I have now come back to Dawn of Mana for some reason, and I'm just thinking, man. Okay. I think I see why. I said this before, and I'm now much more doubly thinking. This is way better than Kingdom Hearts 2. Can I get that? I don't think I can latch onto them, can I? I didn't think so. Kingdom Hearts 2. Sorry, yeah, sorry if I didn't say it clearly there. Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, I will say, I actually do like Kingdom Hearts, like, a lot. Like, I am that weird... the Kingdom Hearts thing never... Kingdom Hearts being what it is never bothered me, I think, as much. Though I will admit, Kingdom Hearts, like, I'm weird that Kingdom Hearts 2 is not my favorite game in that series. It's fine. It's fine. I understand that completely. I'm also, like, in it completely for the Disney. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 has a segment where, like, Woody just, like, straight up tells the personification of darkness to go fuck himself. And I'm like, hell yeah. That's what I'm here for. Shoot. Oh shoot, that was a death. I don't know what happens when you die. Oh shoot, you just reload. Uh-oh. The 3DS game has characters from World Ends With You in there, so that's actually really cool. I've actually never played that game. I have played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and a little bit of Chain of Memories, and a little bit of the other one, some other ones as well.
Yeah, the Lorimar army's got Ritzia.
But that is a Dream Drop Distance being good is I don't think too much of a surprise, because I've seen some cool stuff in that game.
Howdy, how come you wear a feather on your head like that?
I wear this instead of Death Flora.
The Heartless are pretty cool.
What's Death Flora?
Well,
a lot of them are based on just
plant charms.
A lot of them are just straight up Final Fantasy enemies.
Of course.
For something that's really cool. I like that mix of them being kind of weird looking Final Fantasy kind of concepts. There's still stuff to kind of enjoy there, but I do understand like the Disney stuff kind of being on that too. I think a lot of the restrictive stuff, like the reason why the Organization 13 stuff exists, is to sort of get away from some of the Disney stuff because of marketing. Kind of play outside of that for it, but still, I do like hearing Woody just straight up handsome no, or Xanor, whatever his name is at that point. That was funny. I had such a good time. I have a wall. Although my favorite Kingdom Hearts game is actually the first one, so, which I know people say I'm crazy for, but I don't. It's fine. I know I'm correct, so that's all I have to know. I do I have Aegis, I can use that. I'm just gonna toss a tree at everyone. I'm seeing the save point is actually much further along than I was, so yeah. Good. See, I am correct. Kingdom Hearts 1 is the best console number games. So I will say John having a good time with Chain of Memories makes me want to revisit that one at some point. I got a copy around the time he was having fun with it, but mostly because it was in a lot with Riviera, which is what I was actually looking for. Technically, it does technically, even though I think it's kind of the most fun variation of that battle system, or of kind of all the systems of Kingdom Hearts. It's less action-y and more. It's less action-y, more RPG. I will say. Even though it is still technically an action RPG, I think it's a little less fast than that second game, that third game, even though those games are still fun. Even though I say like Kingdom Hearts 2 is not like my favorite, I still think it's a fine game. I don't hate really I don't hate many video games except for like Mega Man X7 and Lunar Dragon Song. And even those, I'm more of a you know. There's a lot of just pushing things around in this game, and I'm kind of like, shoot, is it fun? Hate too many games? That's fair. You know, that's fair enough too. There's a lot to dislike for things. It could be like indifference. You know, it could be like indifference. It could be, you know, just a strong dislike of certain things. And I understand it.
Knock him dead.
Yeah, some salamander. That's good. I can definitely use some salamander. A healing spell? Shoot. Holy crap, there's a healing spell. That's awesome. I bet the tutorial told me about that when it said that, you know, magic levels up. Yeah, I don't think there's... There are some games I definitely don't like, but it's more of a... it is what it is. And even I find there are bad games that I absolutely love having fun with. Yeah, I know which one. I know which one specifically, though. Like, okay, that's fine. It's still fine. Yeah, Persona 5, Nier Automata, and... I think they were all games that I did actually put on my list, so I do apologize. You've said before, because I've streamed Persona 5 before, I know you said that I know you had some choice. I know you did also mention your dislike of it before then, so at least I remembered that. Oh yeah, Ritual of the Night. Okay. No, okay, I understand. I understand that one. Granted, I will say that I did play Bloodstained, and I did not hate it. And I actually don't like that side of Castlevania that much. I will say, I don't... Like, Symphony of the Night, I think is fine, but, like, in more of a presentation. In more like a presentation sort of thing. Even though it's fun to kind of move in that game. Now that I've played it a couple times myself, my experience with Castlevania is actually like the classic games. Hot, hot, hot.
Are you okay?
Keldy is hot. He's burning. Bumbles. Okay, hold on, run. Those explode. At one point, did you, at one point, were, like, some of the later ones speaking more for you? Because I understand they do. Harmony of Dissonance. I've actually not played any of the DS ones, personally, at all. Maybe a little bit of that last one I've played a little bit of, but only because a friend had it, I borrowed it for a second, just to try it out. I have played the Game Boy Advance, the last two in the Game Boy Advance. Harmony of Dissonance, like you said, and Aria of Sorrow. I actually really liked Aria of Sorrow. Like, I'll probably defend that one the most of that. That one's probably the one I like the most of the ones I've played. So Symphony, Harmony, and Aria. I have a feeling Dawn of Sorrow is not as good as people say it is. I have a small feeling on that one not being that good. Just as a, from what I've seen of it. I'll probably go back to Lunar Nights instead. Though Lunar Nights is also Konami developed. Oh, probably don't know this yet. I'm a huge Boktai. I'm a huge fan of Boktai. I will say that one. Around Iga. The thing is, I've always known Iga as, like, the producer of Castlevania. Of like, the fight. I actually did not know until, like, much later that he produced, like, you know, most of the other Castlevania games. I knew him as the producer of the Castlevania fighting game. And, like, that's it. I didn't even know that he was, like, he is what was behind sort of a lot of the other changes in Castlevania. Kind of made me hate him more a little bit, actually. And I was like, how dare you take Sonya Belmont away from us, even though Legends is not very good. Like, I probably prefer Adventure over Legends. Sorry. Sorry, Sonia Belmont, though I do like you, Sonia Belmont. Even though apparently you're not canon, you're not supposed to be canon, but who cares? I don't care about canon. So yeah, like with the Iga stuff, I never actually got. That's what I figured. That's what I was wondering. Like, although he did actually produce, like, you know, those games, like, a lot of those games under budget, and under budget too. That's why Konami liked him. He produced games under budget. That's also why he was not given much of a budget. Like I think are interesting. Like the PS2 Castlevania games, I think are actually kind of interesting. And outside of Iga, I think Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. Right, he's not like the Kojima, and even Kojima isn't the Kojima of Kojima. There's a lot more in that side as well too. Like, I give Kojima more credit for like Snatcher and Police Nuts than even a lot of Metal Gear. But there is some stuff there. It's just easier. It's easier to use a tier theory, just when it comes to saying certain things rather than referring to like an entire team of it, which is annoying in a way, but is also, you know, is just how it is. It is how it is for a lot of video game talk, but also film. Like film does the exact same thing. Film uses the same language. Yeah, he did join Symphony of the Night late to the party, which is fine. That happens all the time. That happens all the time in development. And hey, Raven, we're playing a mana game and talking about a tier theory, which is always the most fun. Also, June, you're cool now. You're like even cooler than you were like 5 minutes ago, because you said you played Boktai and you liked the first one. Like, and the first Boktai is like one of my favorite games ever. So you're cool. Although I do actually like the sequel to that game as well. I need to play the third one. Like I have it for emulator, but I have to like actually play it, and I don't want to play it on an emulator. I actually just want to find a Japanese copy of it and play it just without translating it. The sequel's very different. It's more of an action. It's more of an RPG than like Boktai 1 is. It is like just a straight up action RPG. It's fair enough. Trials of Mana and Secret of Mana, the Mana games are kind of not really connected. They use a lot of the same terminology, and they're sort of connected, I guess, in a way, but they're not like, it's not like a solid thing you have to do. It's not Trails of Cold Steel 1 through 3, which I would not recommend playing out of order. Like, those have to be played. Oh man, these are actually falling. These planks are actually falling. And there's a... How did I not appreciate, like, the neat physics stuff in this game? Like, even though it's, like, sort of wonky, how did I not appreciate some of this? Trials of Mana is actually like, really comfy, which is actually why I'm playing this one, because I was just sort of thinking about the other 3D Mana game, which is this game. And I never hear anybody talk about this game, like, ever, so... I'm not kidding. That's weird. We're not even targeting him. Okay. That's fine. Okay, I guess I'm not burning that down. Oh, wait. No, is it burning? Never mind, it's burning. Some gins. So yeah. And with like not beating Secret of Mana, I do understand that a bit. I did replay that game last year, I think I said before. And I had a good time with it again. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but my opinion on that game did like a complete 180. And I kind of love it now. Oh, they are helping. They are actually fighting enemies. Shoot, they are actually fighting enemies. Holy crap. Usually those little guys are enemies in Mana, so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There's no dodge roll in this game, so that's kind of the one thing I'm not used to these days. I really want Evermore to be re-released somehow. I don't care how it happens. I just want some kind of acknowledgement or re-release of that game, because that's a really cool game. It's also a really funny game. Aside from some of the credits that are in that game, because there is one questionable credit I know for sure, and it's the music composer, who is a talented person, but also like a kind of a known creep. It's Jeremy Soule. He is the person in that soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack, actually. It's actually a soundtrack I own. Sorry to say that if that's a thing that you didn't know. I don't know entirely the details anymore these times, but I do remember when some of that came out, and like nothing I don't think has ever been done about it. So it's one of those situations. Okay, you know, okay. Yeah. It is Jeremy Soule on that soundtrack, and like that's, if I'm gonna say like anything positive here about Soule's work, that's my favorite soundtrack from him. I will just kind of, if I will keep it separate, I guess, for right now, that is my favorite soundtrack of Soule's, because it's the most interesting. But yeah, that is a lot. I understand not being able to like that, because I'm kind of like that with that one. Probably too big to be needed. Fire this guy. Or log, or put a tree in him. Put a log in him. Yeah, unfortunately, with a lot of stuff going on, it's good to know. I think it's good to know about certain people in the industry, especially kind of right now. We talked about Ubisoft before, and I will mention that there's a lot of stuff going on there too at the moment, just kind of company-wide. And that's more of a company-wide thing, even. So there you go. The thing is with at least with their published RPGs, they ain't doing that anymore. So don't worry about that. Yeah, and personally, I think it's good, at least that it's coming out more. I think timing worked in favor for a lot of it. That, you know what, we're already the world's falling apart. Let's just keep kicking. Let's just keep kicking it while we're at it. And I'm good with it personally happening. With at least it coming out. Of course, not it happening at all. I wish it didn't, but yeah, a lot does remain to be done, especially regarding especially regarding things like corporate culture, various entities. Because it's not just Ubisoft. Rockstar has a lot of problems too, and they're not even trying to fix anything. Pretty much, from what I understand. But it is what it is. At least in that situation, at least for us, people like us, can just kind of the best thing to do is to listen to the stories that come out and to know how things are happening,
I don't feel like letting you pass, but
childhood to us. Piracy is good, actually. There's a lot of reasons why piracy is actually good. Now, if I'm saying that on stream, there you go. But there's a lot. Granted, my personal thing is that for a lot of it, it's where I get less interested in actually even playing the thing anyway. Like, is it even worth it? I know a lot of people say for it too is that, you know, oh, company bonuses are based on sales. No, they're not. They're based on Metacritics for a lot of it, which is equally bad. Holy crap. Like, holy crap. It's like, oh man, that's like awful. Which is why it all sort of, it's not linked to it's not just one thing kind of linked to everything. It's a lot. It's a lot of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to kind of but I understand it. It's all sort of there. Being able to separate it, I don't know if it's even a good thing either, but some people can, and that's, you know, I'm not going to, I don't have a problem with people kind of being able to separate it for themselves. Like, if they want to enjoy, say, like, if they want to enjoy Ubisoft games still, I have no problem with that. I don't think that's, I'm not going to say, like, no, you're a bad person for doing that. I don't think so. I think there's, like, as long as you do, as long as the stories are listened to and kept, you know, kept circulating, I think that's going to do a lot more than, like, saying, you know, I'm not going to, than, like, hurting the people who are just good at buying them. Yeah, I don't even like. The thing is, too, it doesn't matter if I say I'm not gonna buy Ubisoft games because I don't buy Ubisoft games anyway. That's the thing too. Like, it's not going to hurt Ubisoft if I'm not going to buy it. Like, if I'm not going to buy it, because I'm not buying it anyway. Pretty much. I think the last Ubisoft published game I bought was the Rayman Legends. Well, because I kind of like that team, and that's about, you know, that's kind of about it. But yeah, me saying I'm not gonna buy Ubisoft games, or even Rockstar, because I'm like, I have only bought I do own Grand Theft Auto 3, but I bought it for $3 at a flea market. Like, I am not their target demographic for that, and I know that. There is, absolutely. There is. Like, I will say, it's like, I will probably get, like, myself, I will probably get SMT3 Remastered. Like, for sure. That's one of my favorite games. And, yeah, I know there's a lot of problems with Atlas on that. And I did buy Persona 5 Royal as well. Granted, I waited till it went down in price, but, you know. I heard those week 1 sales. Okay. But yeah, it is sort of a... It's sort of a kind of knowing where it is, kind of spreading that around. And if it's absolutely something I'm not going to do, I'm probably not going to. Like, one specific problematic game from Atlas is Catherine. I don't want anything to do with it. So I have not bought any of the, especially that remaster. I did buy Catherine back in the day, but that was before all of that happened. Yeah, my definition of independent developer is like very different from the mainstream one too.
Has absorbed hatred, misery, and the futility of life. Together, these constitute the echoes of destruction.
Oh, shoot, this guy.
The echoes of destruction?
This guy's in Legend of Mana.
Yes, reverberations from the darkest corners of the human heart. So this is the young man the Great Tree has chosen. And the Spirit Child.
We know. What do you want from us?
1,000 years ago, a young lady opened the door to Mavolia. And now, others wish to open it once again.
The Lorimarian army!
As long as I live and am able to contain this wicked power here, the door will never be opened. However... the sword inside me reacts to the echoes touched by the maiden.
Joby! Get Ritzia away from here! Not now! Just hurry!
Okay.
And from this world is
I do not remember this guy. Oh.
I
Holy shit. Sorry, I'm giving myself a full reaction. I do not remember this. Oh my gosh. I think I remember less of this game than I do. Holy crap.
Good, you've come. I have been waiting for you, Siam, Keeper of the Seed. Empty your heart and plunge into the destructive wave of eternal darkness. Be enveloped by the witch's curse and despair. I'll secure you.
Something's shouting at the rooms, and it looks pretty scary.
Go, forest dwellers. Follow your instinct.
Catherine is... the thing, here's the thing with Catherine. Even without the Erica, even without the Erica stuff, even without all of that, that stuff is really bad. Like, oh my gosh.
I'll secure you.
Oh.
You can just pry it a little.
There's a lot to that game already. Just like, it's so
Hallelujah. The seal on the door to Mavolia will soon be broken.
I'll secure you. Your fertilizer.
Even without that story, is so dumb.
I'll secure you.
Like, just straight up. And that's even getting aside from the gender politics stuff. That's that. Oh, I'm so mad. It's
Only
okay.
there was a way to
There's so much. Like, if you want like a game that actually says fucking nothing, it's Catherine. Like entirely.
Your fertilizer.
Don't. You know what? You're fine. You know what? I'll say to you, just spare yourself. You're good.
Smashing pumpkins. I'll secure you. I'll secure you. Your fertilizer. Punishment. Your fertilizer.
Spare yourself from the Catherine stuff. It's like it's.
Your fertilizer.
There we go.
Punishment.
Yikes. Okay.
Your fertilizer. I'll secure you.
I know what to do here.
I'll secure you. Punishment. Your fertilizer. I'll secure you. I'll secure you. I'll secure you.
That's okay.
Your fertilizer.
That'll go off.
I'll secure you. Punishment.
forest dwellers. Follow your instincts. Punishment. I'll skewer you.
Yeah, basically you're feeding him the, you're at least using the bumpkins to open his mouth to do damage.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. Punishment. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you.
Oh shit.
Punishment. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you.
Oh, I will have fun tree sitting. You sleep well, June. You have a good rest of the night. I'll probably be done here pretty soon.
Punishment.
Myself. Crap.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you.
I still died. Bye, June. I'll see ya. I think I'm gonna try that one more time, and then I'll be done. I think I will try that one more time. I feel like I can do that. Though I do see I've already been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Almost.
The great.
I'm gonna skip the cutscene. And then we'll... then I'll do it again.
Good, you've come. I have been waiting for you, Siam, keeper of the seed. Empty your heart and plunge into the disgusting wave of eternal darkness. Enveloped by the witch's curse and despair.
Open wide!
Good.
Illusia, the seal on the door to Mavolia will soon be broken.
Something shining at the roots, and it looks pretty scary. Watch out!
This thing's so tight.
You.
Oh, if you could just pry it a little. Oh, no more pumpkin bombs.
Your fertilizer.
If only there was a way to...
Your fertilizer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Your fertilizer.
I'm doing a lot more damage. I'm just doing a lot better now. That's all I did. I believe that's what's happening.
I'll skewer you.
Which is why I've been whacking the tentacles.
I'll skewer you.
Tendrils.
Your fertilizer.
here.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you. 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 I'll skewer you.
It's burning!
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you.
Yeah, the one thing is too, I don't have, like I said, I don't have a dodge roll in this action game, which is not something I'm not used to.
I'll skewer you.
That's okay.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment your fertilizer.
Get tossed around.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you. Your fertilizer. Punishment. I'll skewer you. Punishment. I'll skewer you.
Crap, I just died again. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna do one more time. I say this to myself a lot. Just looking at the stats here, this looks like it's gonna be a good stream. Try it one more time. Though granted, my attack could probably be higher, but you know, I'll deal with it.
The great tree, through all
Third time.
eternity, has...
Third time always does it.
I've been waiting for you, Kyle.
Salamander
Keeper
a little
of the
bit later.
seed.
When he gets harder to
Empty your
attack.
heart and plunge into the destructive wave of eternal darkness. Be enveloped by the wicked curse and despair.
Good. Shiny in the room, and it looks scary.
This thing's shut tight!
Watch out!
Your fertilizer.
only there was a way to make more of them.
I'll skewer you.
Watch out!
You're fertilizer.
Yeah.
I'll skewer you.
Yeah.
Missed it.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. You're fertilizer.
Oh, he's got multiple tentacles. Okay.
I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. Punishment. You're fertilizer. You're fertilizer. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Oh boy. You're fertilizer. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. I'll skewer you. Punishment. You're fertilizer. I'll skewer you. You're fertilizer. Punishment. You're fertilizer. I'll skewer you.
Ah, shoot. There we go. Whatever that was. He got him that time.
Treant! Are you okay, Treant?
For so long I had kept that filthy sword locked inside my body, but it seems I reached my limit. Maiden Ritzia, turn your ears to the whispers of the tree and to the murmurs of your soul.
But how would I?
By believing, it will come. The setting of the stars, the dawn of Mana.
That was a title drop.
Go to Mortmont. See the conservator of the land, the guardian beast.
The guardian beast? You mean the real thing?
You must go there for help. Go to Mortmont.
Mountain of Death.
Such is your destiny.
I was gonna say that too.
No, there are ways to resist one's fate.
Fate, huh?
I thought you might be part of this.
So you were the one hiding the sword, keeping it inside you. I'm so glad to see that you finally coughed it up.
Kendrick, Ritza, the world is in your hands now.
This sword, imbued with the tree's power and the evil of the echoes, is rightly called the Sacred Sword of Mana. I think I'll have all of you accompany me on my errands. That way, you'll be able to share with me everything Treant told you.
Ritzia!
Keldy, run away.
Heroic posturing?
We both know that you won't hurt me.
Ritzia, how come... I don't get what's going on!
Keldy, please. For my sake. And the sake of the world, leave. I beg you.
A pointless display. I have a very good idea where he's headed. There's no escape from me now.
There's a lot to this game that's like,
Meanwhile,
from what I remember, I'm remembering everything now.
Isle reach the outside world. The leaders of each country hastily gathered at the palace in Tupple.
Lady Lusa Luca of Tupple, the Kingdom on the Lake. Brother Moti of Jad, the Desert Commonwealth. Millionaire the Niccolo of Wendell, the Kingdom in the Woods.
And from Ish, the land of fire, King Watts.
But these leaders were unwilling to send their armies against the terrible might of Lorimar.
And not only that, but they couldn't even agree on what to do next. Time dragged on as meandering discussions led to nowhere.
So, I'm going to save right there, actually. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop right here with the game. Okay, so I pulled this out as like just to have fun with on here. And to see maybe if I still maybe not like the game that much. But I am very much considering maybe replaying this. Like, as I've been going here, for right now, maybe on my own. So if I stream any more of it, maybe like in a different position. Because I'm not gonna do like a whole thing just on stream. But I think it's more fun to kind of share different moments of games kind of on stream, and maybe not do like full playthroughs, random things like that. I think that's actually a little more fun. But I am not remembering this game as much as I did, and I'm like, now that I'm old, now it's like much later here, I feel way different about this game. I may have to revisit this now, like, fully, just because of how I feel from tonight's stuff. Even though, like, the game, I think the game is actually, like, held up way better than I thought it has. Like, even than I did from when it first came out. So I'm wondering, maybe it's just my tastes changing, and just maybe what I'm more willing to accept on things. And I know you said before, Raven, that it felt like kind of a departure from the series. This is actually meant to be like a prequel to like to the Mana series overall. Whether it's considered that or not these days, I'm not actually sure. This game is not really talked about. I don't know if you've probably heard of it once, maybe before, or maybe even played it before. But maybe forgotten about it, because I hear nobody talking about this game. And I'm a little shocked of how good this is so far. Like, just now to my taste today. Like, I'm way more accepting of this right now than I think I was before. But I'm going to go ahead and stop here, though. Thank you all for coming out, just having a good time. I hope you all had a good time with a weird PS2 game from 2006, 2007 that you may not have heard of before, may have heard of. But nonetheless, I think y'all I'll go ahead and let y'all go for the rest of the night, and y'all have a good evening, and all of y'all stay safe, all right? And take care.